Our car. Our car.
Welcome
Hi,
to
Lar.
June episode 20.
Hi, Jarn. Hi, Jarn.
Episode 20. Welcome. Hello.
Welcome.
This is the end of season 1. Welcome to the end of
Welcome
season
to
1.
the end of season 1.
In this episode, we're going to get into a little bit about what we mean by that.
Yep. Oh.
Yeah. Going into a new era.
We're in the end of our era.
Not the end of our era.
We're in the end of season 1 era.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
in our end of an era.
Yeah, we elaborate on that a little bit in this episode.
Yeah, listen.
So listen and follow us at Hi June on
Instagram and TikTok. That's probably it.
And YouTube. Yeah, I think we're going to nix Twitter.
Twitter, like, what the fuck? I deleted my Twitter.
It's hard. Yeah, subscribe on YouTube, comment, like, review, rate, all that shit.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
cool. Let's get into it. We are in the business of pod.
Okay, well.
The pod biz.
Guys, we come to you today with heavy hearts.
You make it sound like we're quitting or something.
We come to you today with heavy hearts because Austin and I have decided together that we are separating.
Yeah.
And we love each other so much still. And we have so much respect, and I will always consider you a friend.
That's special.
Mm-hmm.
That's sweet.
So.
What are we really talking about today?
That's it.
We're taking a break.
No, we're not. Okay, guys.
That's a joke. Just
Wait.
kidding.
Oh, I thought you meant us. I thought you were talking about the pod.
I was trying to do a double joke there. Like, you led with pretending like we were breaking up. So,
whoa.
I was like, no, we're taking a break, which applies to that, but also applies to the pod, which is what we're talking about today.
Yeah. So we are taking a break from our relationship, and also we're taking a break. Because of that, we are taking a break from the pod.
We're not taking a break from our relationship. To clear the air. What are we actually talking about?
Okay, anyways. All jokes aside. This episode is the last episode in season 1 of Hi June.
Yep.
A podcast brought to you by Austin and Caitlin.
Yep. We
Episode 20.
Episode 20. I didn't even have the idea of like separating it into seasons until we talked about it yesterday. But every time you upload to YouTube or RSS, which is like the audio, like to put it on Spotify and stuff, it asks you to input the episode number and the season number. And so lately, obviously, we've been like busy trying to like do the pod.
And we're feeling uninspired.
Yeah, feeling generally uninspired. So the other day we said we need a refresh. We need to shake things up a little bit.
Yeah.
And so we figured take a small break to rearrange some stuff, to reimagine some stuff, to approach some stuff differently. And what better way to end it than calling it like, okay, that was season 1.
Season 1.
20 episode season.
Yeah, and I think that's perfect. And I have we're feeling very uninspired. We're feeling busy because our schedule, our system that we have, it just isn't working for us.
Hadn't been working. Yeah, so we decided, okay, instead of just trying to force it, and it sucks, why don't we, 20 is such an even number, it's like I feel like we were on 21. I was like, God damn, we just passed 20s. But we figured, we're busy. We'd rather not let it suffer. We want to like make it good and like not make excuses. So I think what we're going to do is call this season 1.
Season 1.
And take the next probably couple of months to reimagine pretty much everything from having a more uniform plan in terms of topics and just plans for episodes.
Aesthetics.
But also all the way down to physicality. I think in the last episode we talked about the storage room behind the drum room.
Yeah.
So I think we may actually entertain
Turn
the
that into
idea
a pod
of
studio.
moving it in there.
Yes.
Thinking of some new visuals, more consistent visuals.
Yeah.
More guests. I want to like actually get.
Yeah, we need to get more microphones.
Get more mics. So.
I just want it to feel like a more. I mean, we just had this idea to start the podcast. Kind of just we didn't like throw it together. We got really nice equipment, like not that part, but like, we just kind of were like, we're gonna fucking do it with really no set plan.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just so new. And now that we've tried it out, 20 episodes in, I think we've discovered what we lack, what we need, what we would like to do differently. And I think ending this season and having season 2 coming back as like professional, very like we have time to really think about how we want everything to look.
Yeah.
Having time to like buy a camera, buy more lighting, buy more microphones. We just need to re-envision, redo, rebrand.
Yeah, I think we're gonna like it. Season 1, 20 episodes, a good long runway to sort of figure out the trials and errors of the podcasting process. Because like I will say though, like even though we're talking about put a cap on that, coming just to say we're gonna like push pause, take essentially the holiday season off to give everything a facelift.
Sorry.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I think we did a good job at, like, all things considered, even though we are giving stuff a facelift, the things that we're facelifting, like starting a podcast with I think the quality we have and like the intentionality that we've had is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That combined with the consistency, you know what I mean? I think the consistency combined with, the quality of the audio and the video component working well together, like we work well together, is, what makes it so good. And so like if it even starts to that starts to falter because we're busy or like we're feeling uninspired, I think it makes the most sense to like,
Yeah, I'm not going to risk it.
no, like let's push let's just own that, take it on the chin,
Yeah.
take the holiday season to facelift everything and then come back with like a little more uniform of a plan. But what I was saying is, even though we're facelifting stuff, the stuff that we're facelifting I think is pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, we're not professional podcasters. We're not influencers, like we're figuring this shit out.
And I think, we didn't just come here to say we're pushing pause, but to also kind of reflect.
Yeah, Hygiene is not going anywhere.
Oh, no. Like, we're also taking this opportunity to, like, kind of just reflect on, like, what the first 20 were.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think you're right. I think, like, we're by no means, like, professional or, like, revolutionary or...
We're just doing this for fun.
But, yeah, it's a blast. But I think, like, all those things considered, to come in sounding like we do, looking like we do, like really put some intentionality and planning and timing into it. It's pretty fucking good and it's fun and I've had fun and I think the first 20 have been a lot of fun. Some very obviously we're finding our footing,
Yeah, but whatever.
But some of the other ones, but there are a lot that are like super dialed.
Yeah,
and
but it's
super
like
fun and super like.
Yeah.
You can see, I think, the growth.
Yeah, but it's like so many podcasts that I listen to, like if they're like reading comments or like somebody writes in or calls in, they're like, I've been listening since day one, and everybody's like, oh shit, like, or I'm going back and listening to the very first ones, and like, please don't
do that.
like,
yeah.
That's just, you're just figuring it out, and we don't know what the hell we're doing, so I think
and
that
I can't wait to
we're doing okay.
Yeah, I can't wait to say that about ours.
Exactly.
To like get so much better to be like, then look back and be like, oh, those were trash compared to these.
I think a lot of the part, like something that we need to, I think we're getting better at, but we'll just continue getting better at, is forgetting that we are recording our conversation. Because I think that like stops us sometimes from just like being comfortable and like actually just being us, like how we normally are.
Those are some of my favorite episodes though.
Like when we kind of forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like even right now, like, I don't know.
We just got to get more comfortable.
I agree. Yeah. Sometimes I can feel us getting very like, I don't know. I feel like we both have a good middle road between like actually talking to each other like right now, but we're talking in a very specific way that like it's capturing both.
Yeah.
It's talking to each other, but also acknowledging, that there's like, third perspective, but in a good way. Some people do that to a fault and put on a voice and like act, you know what I mean? Which is the purpose of some podcasts, but not ours. You know what I mean? I want to get a little. I don't mind somewhat acknowledgement. You know what I mean?
Well, no.
But like get a little further down if it's speaking to the camera and just forgetting it's there.
Yeah.
I want to nudge a little closer to the forgetting it's there scale. Like,
I do
just
too.
A little more that way. It doesn't have to. I'll go all the way there. Like right now is a good balance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like
we're just talking.
Exactly. So like I think lessons learned. Like that's one of them. Trying to get better at that.
Because I mean, sometimes like when we're obviously like whenever we're not on the podcast, we're just talking. Like, I'll be like, "Fuck, I wish that we were having this conversation on the podcast." But it's like sometimes we're just like being so dumb and silly, and like it's hard for me to act like completely 1000% myself, and I know I'm like being recorded and
But
you know.
yeah, even though you do know it's there, you're actually pretty natural at like. You're not like
Well, no, I know that,
some
but
people cannot
yeah.
even like speak when there's a camera around.
Well,
you know?
yeah, that's not a thing, but I just need to be getting more comfortable.
Totally, and I think that comes with repetition.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
we're getting better.
I mean, you think like it's like I don't compare ours against stuff other podcasts, but I do pull inspiration from just
Yeah, of
because I listen to a
course.
lot of podcasts all the fucking time, and I have to remind myself sometimes it's like always never like for sure take inspiration, and pull cues, and that's how you learn and kind of find your groove, but never compare because you have to consider like I hate to use him as an example because a lot of people would rather die than hear his name
Joe.
spoken, but like you think about like wow, what a polished product, great interview or whatever. Wow, do you know how many episodes of Joe Rogan there are?
Like 3,000.
Like over 1,000.
Yeah.
Like
There's so
literally
many.
over, and we've done 20. So it's like
Yeah.
you really have to think about the repetition and the practice that comes with
We'll
it.
just
Like,
continue to get better at it.
totally. What do you want to accomplish in the next era, in the next year?
With
Do you have
pod?
do you have any goals? Like a person you want to make sure we get on, a topic you want to cover, like a number you want to hit. This is a good opportunity to talk about like numbers.
I don't know. I just want to my main goal is to just like I want the pod to be just 100% us, like super personal, like not super personal, but like it's just like oozes us, our aura.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't really have at the top of my head like any like topics or guests, like whoever, whatever. I just want them to be like quality, like good, like just good fucking podcasts.
Yeah.
Funny, good to listen to, like just easy listening.
Cool. Makes sense.
Have a guest or two.
Yeah. I think in terms of content, I'll have to sit and brainstorm
Yeah.
like topics, which is a part of what we're talking about when we say like facelift. I think the most fun I have when we do this is when we're very deliberate. I like the bullshit episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I want to find like by bullshit I mean like no
We're just talking.
topic and we're just catching up. I think one of the goals we want to, or one of the things we talked about doing for the next like iteration is like finding a cadence and a balance between okay, the next 10 episodes we're gonna have 3 bullshit,
Mm-hmm.
5 topics and 2 guests. Like have a set
Yeah.
because I like the bullshit ones, but I think the most fun I've had have been the ones with like, oh, this is the topic today.
Yeah, I love those because
Yeah.
then it's like easy. It's not sometimes with the bullshit ones. It's like it's hard for us if maybe we weren't married, if we were just friends, we didn't live together. Like those episodes might be easier, but like we talk all day, every day.
All day, every day.
So it's like
yeah.
I don't want to just keep
You're the
having
first
the same
person I talked to
conversation.
and
Yeah.
the last person I talked to. Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know, but I really like having the topic ones. It would be fun for us to have like a segment every, like some kind of segment that like,
would be fun. Some brand recognition. Some.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh damn,
I
like
don't
they're
know.
doing that again. Yeah, we need to think. I want to sit and brainstorm. Yeah, topics. I want segments. I want to, but I should say that the most fun I have are the ones that do have guiding topics. But some of my favorite episodes happen to be the bullshit ones.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
listening back and
Yes.
like reviewing or like editing. I'm like, damn, that was fun. I don't remember which one it was. It was only a few back. There was one that we did, and we were just like, it just felt it was fun.
Yeah.
It was super fun, and there was no topic. We just had a good just bullshit sesh. So I want to find a cadence between those. Think of more topics, but also I think I want to get like an interface. I want to get more mics. I want to have guests more.
Yeah, I want to have guests in making the drum room half the studio will give us more room.
It'll give us more room.
Because like right now, if we were to have a guest, where the hell are they gonna go?
Yeah, totally. It'll have more room, but also it'll provide some separation because I think part of what makes me feel uninspired right now and makes me want to reimagine and reassess and reevaluate is like feeling like it's work sometimes because
Mm-hmm.
literally, so if you're watching this on YouTube, um, the phone that's filming it is sitting on my work desk. It's like I'm
Yeah.
looking at like where I work every day, when I
Yeah.
sit here, and it doesn't
This is
cre-
your workroom
it doesn't create a sense of like
separation.
no.
Like not creative.
Whereas if I'm like I think about what goes on in here. I mean,
Mhm.
like you play games in here, but 90% of the time it's work.
Working, yeah.
So if I think about like the vibe of like the drum room,
It's
I think about
purely
like
creative.
playing drums, writing music, hanging out, drinking beer. It's just all about like sitting in there and like creating and having fun and just
Yeah.
shooting the shit and hanging out. Like,
But also having it in there, like we've talked about this, it would always be consistent lighting because there's no windows in there. It's literally a soundproof room. The sound would always be good, consistent lighting. Like we wouldn't have to fuck anything up. We'd have more room,
yep,
more, we could branch out more with like the look of what we have going on.
yep,
So, I don't know. I think we need to get re-inspired, which I'm re-inspired now.
yeah.
Um,
I think maybe if we start with the physicality of it, like get the room set up,
mhm.
it'll get us pumped because I want to like we talked about using a proper camera.
Yep.
Keeping it in the same place every
Getting
time, like
lights.
so for the consistency. But if we go back to that photo store
Mhm.
and like felt like dropping just a little cash on some like, like get like a crazy like light setup, not crazy,
Yeah,
but
but like proper lights.
like go and spend like I'm coming here spending a couple $100, like let's get some fucking like let's get some lights, like let's make it like
Mhm.
as good as we can, like then maybe that'll like when we see all that in person, we get it all set up, lit up. It'll be like, damn, look at this,
Yeah.
like let's fucking
Also, we toyed around with the idea of having somebody like commission art,
yeah.
like High June art, like, like a print or something. I don't know, something fun. So like just making it like a full experience.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I think
Instead
it'll
of like just being
plop
in the office.
plopping down and ripping it. Yeah,
It would just be more fun. It would feel like, oh, I'm going to the podcast studio,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like feel a little bit more fun.
Yeah, I mean that's a real thing. Like physicality, I think really sets the tone. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I've felt that like in music, you're way more motivated to play like more passionately, like like something about a studio. Like
Mhm.
every time I've tracked drums in like a proper studio, or like even at a show, like when you introduce the setting, it affects I think
Yeah.
the vibe. You know what I mean? I'm way more inspired to play more passionately if I'm playing with people, as opposed to if I'm just sitting there practicing. Like
Yeah.
I've also felt that with like acting. Like it's way easier to like live in kind of the given circumstances and be in the moment if you have props and
You're in the right setting.
if you're in the right. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
a lot of good people can adapt and make it sick wherever they are, but like I think if you apply that principle to like even just sitting down and sitting down having a conversation, like it's gonna like switch it up. And I think you're right. We can have like our setup, and I think inevitably just because of the nature of like our setup, the guests will have to be like on either like your side, and we could even just have them like right here or just like right here, and
Mhm.
like if it's a good enough angle, one camera can capture all of us.
Or we
But
can
we
have
can
two.
we can fuck with multi-angle
Yeah.
shit, which would be a blast.
Mhm.
Like I love like watching podcasts that are like have multi-angle and like do cuts and stuff. I mean, if
Yeah.
we really had money, have like wide angle, like if it was a full-time job, I'd have like one camera for both of us, a camera on each of us, a camera on each guest,
Mhm.
like potentially 5 different angles.
Yeah.
Like how
I don't know.
sick would that be?
Yeah.
Like, so
There's just
fun.
more like room for opportunity moving it to like an actual like podcast studio-ish vibe.
Yeah, so I think when thinking about how to like reassess and kind of like reanimate ourselves, that was like one of the first things we said is like, let's think about the room. Like, let's think about the fucking.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that, number one, we talked about kind of the ratio and cadence of episodes. What's been your favorite episode so far? If you can really remember.
I don't honestly know. The one with my mom was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Fudge. I don't know. Let me look at them really quick.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. How do you switch? The fuck?
Hi, June. A podcast. Look, a jingle I just made.
That's nice. That's good.
Okay, let's see. I don't remember.
So, just to like,
It's hard to think about. The Newlywed Game was fun.
that was fun. That was episode 10.
That was episode 10.
10. That caught up to. Okay, so let's just like. This is fun. Let's look at some numbers real quick. So you're what? You don't want to?
No, that's fine.
If we don't want to, we don't have to.
No, that's okay. I was just kidding.
Like, I think there's some.
I
merit
was
in
just kidding.
Not like talking about like obviously not bragging.
We're not influencer guys, okay?
No,
Sorry, we don't have
but
millions of views.
I'm just talking about like performance, like we just kind of comparing, like
Mm-hmm.
you know what does well. So obviously the best video is the first one, just because I think you know the height,
Yeah.
the spike. First thing.
Which, how rude of y'all to like not stay consistent.
That one has over 300 views, which is pretty good. I want you to think about it this way, like how much less accessible is not the right word, engaging, or like how much harder it is to capture someone coming and sitting and listening to a conversation for close to an hour versus putting out a song.
Yeah.
It's easier to rack up don't get me wrong, it's still hard to rack up numbers, like good quality numbers, like in music, totally. Like there's tremendous merit in having a ton of that. But like a 2-minute single having, 100,000 plus views versus like someone clicking on a conversation that's an hour long, not music. So I think like podcast views and subscribers and like listens, followers are value because I think that's like a firm, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to casually get a listener on a song because I could check it out once and that's, whatever. But a podcast, I think, is much more of a commitment because it's like, I'm saying I want to sit and listen to these people talk for an hour. So that's why I think there's merit in numbers, even though they're as low as ours. You know what I mean? It's like first podcast we've ever done together, or either of us together, totally new. So I think like that's why I'm like super proud of the number. So obviously the first one's the most popular, the second one. But look at this jump. And I think this tells us what we should do. So the second most popular video is the second video that we put out, or episode. And this is going by YouTube, by the way. These numbers might be a little different on Spotify. This is just kind of how I gauge. But I looked one day at Spotify and Apple Music, and they were like eerily, like pretty close. 20 questions, the second episode. That one was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that one was
I think
fun.
we could do a round 2 of that, to be honest with you.
sure.
But, okay, the third most popular, which is almost has the exact same number of views, is 12 episodes later. That's the episode with your mom.
Yeah, so we need guests. So
I
we
think
need Q&As.
I think that's indicative of
what people like to see.
People liked having a different face.
Yeah.
It was a nice mix-up. Like the episode 2, 20 questions, has 179 views. Like your mom's episode has 170. Like it could pass it this week. You know what I mean? Like, and that's 12 episodes later. So it's like half the season later. People still gave it that much attention. Like, I think that's super impressive and something to be super proud of.
Nice.
So I think that's indicative of like I like let's get more guests. You know what I mean? We have a fucking laundry list of like, it could be anyone, any family that comes to visit, friends that are here, people staying over. I will literally grab a neighbor. Like, I will literally talk to, like, that's fun. That's arguably like more fun. You know what I mean?
Just like a rando.
We interviewed, like, I don't know, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So,
okay, so we need to get some guests.
I'll just do the top 5. After that's the Reddit episode. Am I the asshole?
That was fun.
That was one of the more fun ones, I think. Yeah, because it creates a real
Need another like
an argument.
Yeah.
It kind of creates like a two-sided. It immediately creates some sort of like division. I think people are like fascinated by that. So I think more Reddit. That'd be fun. We should like go in on whatever subreddits we're both subscribed to and like, am I the asshole? We could do am I the asshole round 2. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We could do
some fucked up
ask
ones.
Reddit.
Yeah.
Like just general questions, like read people's stories.
Oh, that would be a good one.
Just comment on them. That's like the most popular subreddit I think is Ask Reddit. That's the one that's all over TikTok. I don't know. Have you seen any that you like?
I really don't get on Reddit.
No?
I was only on the Mormon Reddit.
Mormon. We could get on Mormon Reddit and read some stories. There's a lot of just like ask me or AMA or no, not AMAs, but like there's like there's r/mildly interesting, like random facts.
Okay.
You know?
That would be kind of
So
fun.
I think maybe we go in down that well.
Yeah.
And then this one, I don't remember what we talked about, but this is the 5th most popular. It's episode 11. Mr. Sexy Beasts. What did we talk about on that one?
Oh, I think we were talking about. Why the fuck were we talking about? How was it Mr. Sexy?
Let me see. Caitlin's book corner, the art of filmmaking. We talk about beverages and a whole mess more. Pretty vague. But like, I wonder what about that one like pumped it up. Do you think it was the title?
I don't know.
And immediately after that one thing I noticed that is important is doing like hygiene episode number dash and put something fun after.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, that's another thing. We want to like revamp our thumbnails, like revamp all of our socials.
Really kind of revisit everything and like just I don't know.
We're just re-envisioning, redesigning, rebranding High June.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to just try to come back with a bang, you know?
Totally.
Like really just
that also
try hard.
That also opens up the floor to, I don't know, we've said this before, but if you have a song in your heart, you know?
Yeah, if you have a song in your heart.
If there's something that, like, a suggestion or a question or like just any kind of like feedback or like
just anything we need to know. Like obviously we like doing this together. I would still do it if nobody even listened to it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that since people are listening to it, I would like to know what you people are wanting to hear or see, or what do you want to know?
And I think until anyone says anything, these numbers like provide a good path, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think finding like a ratio of like episodes that don't really have any guidance to all the way up to like your topic, like a Reddit topic, or like
all the way up to
guests probably being, even though that's a really like that one did really well, like probably going to be harder to have guests more regularly. But that being said, I want to get some people on here, talk to them. Games, we need to figure out some more games.
Yeah, just something fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but that's kind of the state of the pod, if you will.
State of the pod. I'm really inspired by like the following we've gotten.
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys.
174.
That is so nice of you.
That's great. That's what I'm saying. It's like getting people to invest in like conversation like this versus like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's just like, I think it says a lot. It's like almost 200.
Yeah, it's nice.
Like, 20 episodes. Like, it's pretty impressive.
Shout out.
Having taken breaks too. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, I mean we're just busy people. Okay, sometimes we can't just record a pod. We have full-time jobs.
Yeah, trust me. if I had it my way, I mean, this is all I would do.
Yeah, same. I would die to just do this.
Imagine waking up and being like, "That's the job today."
I'd kill myself.
You know, like
that'd be so fun.
Going to get lighting, going to
just like improving.
Brainstorm, like going to get.
I would love to not have a full-time job, and my full-time job is to be a podcaster, because then I would have more to offer.
Shit sounds like a blast. I mean, that's the dream,
Classic.
Right? Yeah, that would be really sick. I envy people that are able to do that and just make a fucking full-time gig out of it. That'd be really cool. But what was I saying? Yeah, no, I'm like super, like, even though like I want to take a minute to kind of like re-inspire and like reassess and kind of ante up a little bit, I still am super like proud of like having been 2020.
Season 1 was really fun. It was a very fun learning experience.
Very cool learning experience. And I think an accomplishment in itself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I remember every time I see those bar stools we sat at radio to brainstorm, I think about going there that night. That was the first night. Like we had lightly tossed around the idea of like doing a podcast. But then we said, no, let's do it. Let's go sit down and brainstorm. And we did. And Like that was the night we like brainstormed names and everything.
Yeah.
You know, like so that's really cool.
Yeah, and it's just been fun. Wait, what was I gonna say? Oh, we've never like ever worked together on something creative, so it's been interesting to see how that works. And I think obviously we've had some bumps. I mean, not anything crazy, just like
You figuring it out.
we're
I mean, if
figuring
you've
it out.
never done anything like, have you ever like, you've never like put like published like a creative thing, right?
No, I mean,
Exactly.
I used to just like post little vlogs, but like doesn't count.
Oh, that's true. So you have, but like this is the first like consistent, like
Mm-hmm.
weekly or mostly weekly thing that like you've been a part of, but also the first creative thing that we've done together.
Mm-hmm.
So I think naturally there's going to be some like growing pains and like just trial and error and like,
But
but
it's been like 99% good.
totally. But I think like even starting it and like sticking with it as much as we have is an accomplishment itself because I think I don't know. I think I say this all the time. Like real G's move in silence like lasagna. You know what I mean? It's just like I won't say I'm gonna do something until I'm confirmed that
Doing
I'm
it.
gonna do it. How often do people say like, "Oh, I'm gonna start this. I'm gonna
Yeah,
do this.
like
I'm
I'm
gonna do this."
working on this project.
I absolutely detest talking about it and not following through. Call that an ego thing, because that might be because of people's perception of me. I don't want them to think I don't follow through. So I think it's halfway. I mean, could be perceived as an ego thing, but half like just I'd like to like prove I can do something or like I'm not gonna speak something unless I'm like
Yeah, that
like
makes
kind of like
sense.
the acting thing. Like for a long time, I was like I'm not really gonna talk about it or do it, and I still don't talk about it like a ton. Like it comes up, but like
No, but you're doing it.
until like I fucking am able to say like oh, I've been doing
You're
it for a while.
working on it.
So that's what I'm saying is that like people say they're gonna start something or do something every day. So it's for us to actually say it and kind of like put the work in and follow
Mm-hmm.
through. I think even being 20 in is crazy. Like you know what I mean?
I
I
think
think there's
it's cool.
tremendous merit in that and being able to say like, oh, we had an idea and we sat down and brainstorm and like, even though this is just another testament of like the value of like, oh, we may not feel like we have enough time. That sounds like a big task. Sounds like a tall order just with everything we have going on. But let's just fuck it. Like let's just do it and
Yeah.
try it. And clearly it's worked because it's been fun and I think people give a shit and people care. I mean, think about it this way. Like we have 174, 175 followers on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Our best videos have. I mean, the best one was the first one, has over like 300, but like the best ones have around that many,
Yeah,
and they don't trail off too hard from that. So that means most people that follow us
there's some consistent
engage.
listeners. Yeah,
They engage.
but
And
also,
that's incredible.
yeah, I think it's great. But also, in the meantime, in the break, we're still gonna try to like post on Instagram and like
Oh,
we're
yeah.
not gonna try to like just fall off. I
No.
still want people to be like know that we're still here because I don't want people to think like, oh, they're giving up. They're giving up. The podcast is gone.
Yeah.
Haha, like I knew it.
Yeah.
No,
Mm-hmm.
no.
Yeah, I think we're gonna entertain. I think what
Little
you're.
vlogs.
Yeah, I was about to say. Try to entertain the idea of alternative like bits. You know what I mean? Of like accompanying media.
Mm-hmm.
So like mess
You gotta-
around with like tiny little vlogs,
Yeah, just like little
Short-
cute things.
little short things.
Or if we're doing something fun, we can
Yeah.
like whatever.
Try to imagine like some TikToks or something. Just like
Yeah, just
reels.
like have more. Just have give people more access to us.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I just wish I was better at filming on the fly. Like I'm really not.
I think it's just something that we're gonna have to learn or like just do. You know, we're just
Yeah.
gonna have to figure it out.
Because like even being at the little flea today would have
We
been
could
like
have done that,
a fun little clip.
and now it's too late.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Just shit
Well,
like that. You know what I
we
mean?
can figure it out.
Just trying to be. Also, it's not even like about not wanting to do it so much as it like I'm not thinking about it in the moment. Like I'm just
Yeah.
I think I'm too like my attention span is like I already feel like I gotta focus on what I'm here to look at. Now you want me to like zoom out and fucking
Record.
film the
Yeah.
like
Well, it's fine. It's gonna be like a learning process, but I think we're gonna do that so that there's still like stuff happening on the High June page or like on whatever, because we're not going anywhere. We're just getting started.
I think so. Yeah. I don't know. It's fun. I think we have tremendous potential.
I
I didn't think that close to 200 people would
No.
follow my podcast on Instagram.
I
You know
mean,
what I mean?
that's 200 people. Like, I mean, it's crazy when you think about it. Like, whenever you're on, whoever, Cody Co's Instagram page or like looking at a subscriber, like you just see a number like, oh, 1 million people. It's like, no, think about 1 million physical people in front of you.
Listening to you talk every week.
That's crazy. But like, even thinking, I mean, obviously ours is like not even anywhere close to that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to compare our numbers.
Yeah.
But like, even just thinking about like looking at 200 people in front of me, like that's crazy.
Yeah. Like if every one of our followers came and watched us do a live podcast.
That's so nice.
That's like a full venue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 200 people. Like I don't even know that many people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just think it's cute and it's fun. But all in all, I've really enjoyed doing this with you.
Yeah, me too. I have too. It's been fun.
And I want to keep doing it.
Same. I feel like we've earned like what we've got so far too. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just because I think I've never been or done a thing that concerned YouTube, like earning subscribers. So like I've said this before, but like every single one to me is just like
it's like fun.
Looking at an Instagram number, I'm so used to, but looking at like subscriber count, I'm not used to. So it's so fulfilling to like, I feel like I earned each one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I try, for me, looking at numbers, I don't look at them at all because I don't want to.
You're gonna start comparing.
Not even start comparing, but I don't want to like be obsessed with like, why aren't people following me? I'm
Totally.
trying to just like not look at them. I mean, obviously it's good to see where you're at, but I just feel like if I start looking at numbers, it's not going to be fun for me. It's not going to be like a fun thing, and it'll like kind of take that out of it. So
Yeah.
for me to not look at it, it's like, oh, I'm just doing this with you, and it's like something fun we do together, and I can put it out to the world, and then it's like, it just lives there.
Yeah, I should clarify. I by no means I don't look at the numbers every time. I think the only time I look at the numbers is each week when I upload the episode.
Well, yeah, I don't
like, oh, I'm already on here. I'm gonna glance real quick, and I don't look. Yeah,
I'm not saying that's bad if you do.
No, I know.
I just personally don't do it.
Totally, but I get what you just mentioned, like not looking at numbers and wondering like why aren't they this. I look at it as an opportunity to be like,
well, yeah, that's fine.
Oh damn, but no. I don't look at it that way. What I'm saying is like, I don't look at it as like why aren't they like. I look at it as like glass half full, where it's like, oh, I don't think about not having 1,000. I think about excuse me. I don't think about not having 100.
Yeah.
I think about how I'm halfway to 100.
Well, yeah, that's,
whenever
we do talk about numbers, like how we were just saying, like that's 200 people. Like that's how I look at it more. But I feel like if I was like constantly checking the numbers or like constantly looking like how many followers we have, it would just be like, I would be like, really only this many? Like that sucks. But like,
I think
I try to look at it whenever I do look at the numbers, like that's awesome. I don't care.
Everyone's a dub.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That, and I think it feels like a dub because it's like we created this.
Yeah.
So it's like every single one is another person investing in what you created.
Mm-hmm.
So even though it's only coming up on 60, it's not a lot, but it's like YouTube, to hit subscribe on YouTube feels like such a task and such a big ask of people, But so it's like, I feel like not pressured because we don't have a lot. I feel pressured to be like, cool, I'm going to keep at it and fucking earn each one on top of that.
Yeah. But also that made me think like there's so many things, so many people on YouTube that I watch consistently. I'm not subscribed to them. Like they just show up on my recommended.
You never know. Yeah.
And I don't even realize that I'm not subscribed to them. And then I'll like go and like look at comments and it says subscribe. And I'm like, I watch your videos like every week. Why am I not subscribed?
Yeah. So it makes you wonder like how many people watch our shit that
aren't subscribed. Probably so many.
But
I hear YouTubers saying that all the time. Like I see my, like people are watching this, but they're not subscribing. Like subscribe. So I guess that's like a common thing.
Yeah, I think it is. I think there's probably a big, especially imagine someone like Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Like how big his videos are. I don't know. Like how many people passively watch those videos but aren't constant YouTube heads. He's 100 million subscribers.
That is crazy.
Fucking unbelievable.
Oh my god, I would be shitting if I even had like 200.
So all that to say, like, what's the first like big milestone that you get rewarded for? Like
I think
1,000?
It's like 100. I think it's 100,000.
No, you don't get no, I'm not talking about like a plaque. I'm talking about like, I think you can start monetizing after 1,000.
Oh well, why don't if you're not subscribed?
Let's go. Yeah.
We need 1,000.
It was inspiring. I think I listened to a podcast with him, and he was talking about like the first 1,000 or something. He said we're so hard. the first, however, whatever number, 500 to 1,000. He said the first one of those was so hard and took a long time. He said after that it was just trickle
Going.
like a snowball.
But I feel like that makes sense because I mean, if I didn't know who we were, I'm an outside party and I'm on Instagram or I'm on YouTube and I see a video that only has 100 views, like only has 50 subscribers, I'm not gonna watch it.
It takes a lot to invest in someone who you don't know they are.
Yeah, but if I saw like somebody had like a few thousand subscribers and like enough views, I would probably click on it because I'm like, oh, people like it's like not
It's
like
getting
whatever.
some traffic, yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
think that's the battle,
you gotta just get over. You gotta grow your following.
We could even do. I don't know. We can brainstorm about this later. I was just thinking about like, we do like challenges. Like,
Yeah, that'd be fun.
we sat and watched. Like something for amount of time, whatever. Some stupid like.
Yeah.
Kind of clickbaity. Admittedly, some kind of like clickbaity. Just to kind of test the waters.
Yeah, I don't know. We gotta figure it out. But anyways, that is where we are.
That about sums it up.
It was a great season 1 with you.
Talked about. Yeah. It was. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. That pretty much sums it up. Talked about where we've been, where we're going, what we want to do. Open the floor to just thoughts, suggestions, questions.
And feel free to drop us any subjection. Subjection? Cool.
Also, feel free to drop us a
Suggestions,
subscribe.
a subscribe, a follow. I don't
like.
fucking care.
Yeah.
Just do it.
It's been a lot of fun.
Mhm.
And I'm excited to make it better. Yeah, this is in no way indicative of an intention to slow down, but just to kind of reassess, reevaluate, think about it.
Gorgeous.
And yeah, so season 1, 20 episodes in.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, stay tuned. I think maybe we'll try to. I think essentially we could call it. We're kind of taking the holiday season off.
I don't want to say we're taking any time off.
Or okay, not taking off.
It's the end of season 1.
Okay.
We'll be back with season 2, January 23.
Shortly. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, on that note.
And in the meantime, you can still see us on Instagram on High June or on our individual Instagrams at A Storm in Heaven, at A Storm in Heaven.
Yeah, with another N.
Or at Caitlin Looney.
Yeah, until we're back, follow us on there. Watch the old ones on YouTube. Share. Subscribe. Comment would be cool.
Yeah.
Like, rate, review, all that stuff. Kind of stay tuned. Keep an eye on like the Instagram and stuff because, like Caitlin said, I think we're gonna try to do some supplementary stuff just to kind of test the waters
in between seasons.
In the interim, while we kind of gear up for season 2. So
cool.
Sounds good.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Well, we'll talk to you soon.
Love you.
Bye.
So much.
Love you too.
Oh.
See, I remembered you were talking to me this time.
Well, actually, I was talking to them.
Well, it is what it is.
Awkward.